Now it's time for the show.
All right, it's Monday night. You know what that means. The Nelson Family Radio Hour is on the air. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody in between. And thank you for joining us on another Monday evening. Not a bad Monday evening here. We can actually see the outside. Yeah, you see the
It's
outside.
the afternoon, really.
This time, we're not in the undisclosed location. We are downtown Niles, Michigan, at On Base Productions. I'm joined, usually, as
usual. Yeah,
stop making a big deal about it. All right, with my right hand man here, Noah, and then Hank decided to finally join us.
Sorry. And you get something to drink, okay?
Sure.
I wonder if you'd get away with this if you weren't the boss's kid.
That's a great question. So, how you guys been doing this last week?
I've been doing pretty good.
Except you still just can't get up on the microphone, can you?
No, I never can.
Yeah.
No, it's my duty to not.
Oh.
Just.
Well, maybe it's just because you're full of duty.
Yeah.
What about you, Noah? What you been up to?
Not working on the Super Truth Seekers series for our intrepid viewers, and I've hit a bit just because I have like $200 extra in my bank account. I don't know where it came from.
Oh, dude.
Is it hush money, you think?
It might be. Yeah.
It's a shitty way because it's inexplicable money in there. If you're trying to bribe me, you're supposed to let, this is what this is for. It's more
what if it's not hush money? What if they're going to try to capture you, like they want you to get busted for laundering money?
For laundering $200.
Exactly. Yeah.
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 Oh my God, they're incredibly and dangerously stupid if that's the case.
Well, we are talking about the government.
Laundering $200.
Laundering $200. I could see it happening to you,
Well,
honestly.
what was the new, like, if the banks are the new law, if you deposit more than $600, the banks have to record it to the government.
Yeah.
Billionaires.
Right.
That's how they get away with it.
Yep. Exactly.
Depositing $600.
$600 at a time. Well, I mean, it's just you got to start somewhere, I guess. I don't know. So today, obviously, has already started out a little different for the show. Mm-hmm. We didn't have a musical number this time. We'll have that for you next time. And then we are not, probably to the delight of at least one of our loyal viewers, we will not be having a Diver Dan.
We got some Diver Dan haters?
Yeah, we do have some Diver
Dan haters.
You have a Diver?
Who is it?
Well, it's
definitely not Gary. Gary loves it.
Well, you can narrow it down. Our audience isn't that big.
I mean, it's definitely not Gary. Gary loves it. He loves it.
Which
I'll make Gary a Diver Dan DVD then.
Awesome.
And then
Gary, you hear that? You hear that? You get a Diver Dan DVD?
You get your own Diver Dan DVD. Well, it comes with a glossy 8x10 of Noah as well in the Diver Dan costume.
Honestly, I don't know why there isn't a deluxe Diver Dan DVD box set with an aquarium toy in it.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
That's the way they used to do.
Yeah, right.
Back in the early 2000s.
Absolutely.
You remember all those, like, like, Fargo had the snow globe.
Yep.
And like a couple of them came with cars and stuff.
And so I had a Big Lebowski one that came with a rug that was a mouse pad.
Did it come with a White Russian?
It came with a recipe for the White Russians. And it came with a toe, right? Like it came with the toe that got chopped off.
Actually, we still have that. We still have that. We still have the toe.
We
the
were
rug mouse pad. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, the rug mouse pad. I still have that one. Yeah, is that the one Everett uses? Yeah. But yeah, we were talking before we came on the air. We were talking about physical media and just older media. Hank has just got a
Sports Walkman.
Sports Walkman, 1988, I think.
80 something.
Yeah. So he's got a cassette tape in there now. Of course, the Mayflies. Their first release was on a 45, right? Vinyl. And so we were just kind of talking about that and how even when you buy records or old video game consoles, especially old video game consoles, right, to be able to find it like that comes with a box, and how that's kind of a neat thing to have the boxes still intact as well as the game systems themselves working.
Yeah.
Especially the boxes are boring now.
Right. So the boxes, and we were all over the place, but the boxes were so cool, right? Because not only did it show like here's people having the times of their lives playing this Pong game, but it also showed every other game that you could get for the system, right?
The Intellivision box almost shows all the games that were on the Intellivision because there was like 5.
It might have been close.
Yeah. And then even with comic books, right?
Oh, yeah.
Comic books now, they focus so heavily on having a piece of like hangable art on the cover of the comic, which is
there's like no blurbs or anything on there anymore.
Whereas when you had old like the Tomb of Dracula or even Spider-Man's or whatever,
Amazing Fantasy,
it would say, it would be like, but wait, it's the Crow or whatever, right?
No, they would do their best to hook you in with like try to invoke. Well, I gotta see what happens in this.
Right, exactly.
But now it's just like, here's Spider-Man. He's swinging from building to building.
Yeah.
No text, nothing.
Yeah.
It'd make a nice poster if you want it as a poster, I guess.
Yep.
At that point, just make a poster.
Well, sure, and just buy the poster.
The posters are reproductions of the old covers.
Right, that's true.
They don't make that.
Yeah, that's right. The posters, the old covers that we want to see are just in poster size.
And they make those in the posters. I'm just tired of Marvel stuff at places like Hobby Lobby and stuff.
Dude, isn't that wild? I remember the first time seeing it like in the wild, right?
Yeah.
Like going into Hobby Lobby or whatever it was, or Michael's, and they had one of those like tin, like Iron Man signs, and I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
Right? Like, it's what's one of the things that's wildest for me to think about.
It's like rusted for some reason.
Well, sure, but like I fucking got made fun of because I read comic books.
Well, I came along in the era where there was minimal, like Marvel or DC merch. I remember being excited because you remember there used to be Ralph's newsstand in downtown South Bend. And I was excited because he had Marvel patches from a few years prior to that, like they were 5 years old. And I go, cool, an Alpha Flight patch. I didn't even like Alpha Flight.
But the fact that you had...
I've got a patch for my jacket now.
So at...
They're Canadian.
I think we must have been the Marketplace maybe in Niles here, off of South 11th Street. There's a place called the Marketplace. If you've ever been, check it out. It's great. I think that's what it was. They had some old TV guides. Anyway, it was
the Marketplace. Yes.
Was it the Marketplace? They had some old TV guides, and this one was.
I think it was
when
Batman.
did Dick Tracy come out?
Oh, the Warren Beatty movie?
Yeah.
1990, I want to say.
And so Batman came out in 89.
Yeah, it was the year after. I was just watching some documentaries and reading about the Dick Tracy movie.
Yeah, and so it went Batman, Dick Tracy, and then they had the Flash series.
Yeah. They had the Flash series about that time.
Right, and so I should have bought it, but I think it was like $20 for a TV guide.
It was $5.
It was only $5?
Okay. 2 or 3 or 4.
Whatever. But on the cover of this TV guide, it said something along the lines of like DC Comics and how they understood the medium of movies and television, and now it couldn't be.
Well, I mean, it kind of flip-flopped.
Right, exactly.
Because when the '89 Batman came out, Marvel.
Old Marvel movies weren't.
Old Marvel movies weren't that good because there was so much corporate and financial chaos in the Marvel company, and they made some bad, horrible licensing deals with shitty movie companies like Canon and New World. I won't say New World is shitty. That's not fair.
But it was just
but
kind
Canon,
of...
Canon made a certain kind of movie.
Yeah.
New World made a certain kind of movie. And New World was none of those movies were ever going to get a budget of more than $2 million because Roger Corman literally in an interview said, he thought spending more than $1 million making a film was immoral.
Right. Well, I
He
mean,
literally goes, "No, it's immoral to spend."
I
Like
don't-
if you gave him Jurassic Park money, he'd build like a free hospital or
it's
something.
sad, and I can't blame him for that. Roger Corman's, our dog.
He'd give you a movie.
Yeah.
Well, if you gave him $65 million, he'd give you 30 movies.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Shit. No, I can't
But
remember
they
what
were
it was.
they signed so many shitty deals.
But the Marvel also really at that point focused on the cartoon.
well, yeah, there was
library.
Marvel
Yeah.
Entertainment. And
Yeah.
That was the
That
whole
was-
Sunbow and Marvel Productions.
Yes.
Also, they focus on the comics too.
Yeah. Well, but
Well-
I mean, duh, because they're like.
Well, basically, late 70s, it was early mid 70s. Stan Lee stopped being a comic book guy and tried to transition to a movie guy.
Right.
That's really what he wanted to do the whole time was
Yeah.
be a movie guy. And he moved to LA,
Mm-hmm.
and then you had like 4 editors-in-chief before they settled. But they just signed a lot of a lot of desperate deals,
Right, just
because
to
they
get-
needed the money.
Right.
Or,
But it's really interesting to see that. So I brought that up, right? Because I had never seen that cover of TV Guide before. But I remember when all these things came out. But then at that time, like DC was the premier movie comic book, right? Vehicle. And then 20 years, almost
Yeah.
30 years later,
Yeah.
it's
Because-
completely different.
Marvel movies are pretty damn good now.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Well,
whether or not they're good, they're successful,
I think
right?
those
And
are-
at the time.
I think, because they weren't trying to make a shared universe and plan 10 years worth of movies.
Right.
They made a Superman movie and they got Richard Donner to do it, and it
Right.
was good.
Right.
And it was good enough to let's do a couple more.
Right.
And then it got to the point where Warner Brothers didn't want to do it, and then, like I said, Canon Pictures comes into the deal.
Yeah.
And does what was it, Quest for Peace, right?
Yep.
And yeah, it was like, but they weren't trying to make huge franchises.
No.
They weren't planning Batman Returns when they made Batman.
Well, sure, and because at that point it was like when you have a group of executives who it's like, sure, you can make this movie,
Yeah.
who have probably never read a comic book in their entire lives.
Yeah, if they did, it was like,
Yeah, right, and they're like, okay, yeah, cool. This is we can do this. This is one off. So yeah. But anyway, that wasn't necessarily a planned tangent that we went on, but I
Yeah.
thought that was an interesting one.
Yeah.
Before we started the show, just something we've never really discussed. Because anybody who knows us
Yeah.
knows that we're comic book fans, we're movie fans, and things like
I
that.
don't really
so-
see the difference. It's sequential images.
Yeah. Right. No.
for
Absolutely.
a narrative.
Yep. Yep.
You know.
Absolutely. So before we go any further down that rabbit hole, I want to throw it to our newest recurring segment, Getting to Know Ya. This week, Hank was able to talk to one of the very well-renowned citizens of Niles. He, very very respected in the community. I'm not sure if he quite would qualify as a town elder yet, but it was definitely, I think, I'm sure from editing it, you had a good time, Hank.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Anything you want to say before we head into this segment, or
I think it can speak for itself.
you think it can speak for itself? I agree. So with that, here is the latest edition of Getting to Know Ya.
Hello, I am Henry with the Nelson Family Radio Hour, and I am joined here today with...
Thomas Gargas.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you here. Why don't you tell them a little bit about yourself?
I am in 4th grade, and I am 10 years old. This is my favorite YouTube channel that I watch with my parents. My favorite color is blue.
Nice, a good color.
Rabbit's Invasion, Mission to Mars.
Oh yeah, I used to watch the TV show for that one a while ago.
I
Yeah.
was able to watch all the seasons, but then Hulu didn't let me go back.
yeah.
So I can't watch season 1 and 2, only 3 and 4.
Yeah, Hulu and all them always do that stuff.
Yeah.
Take your favorite shows off, and you can't watch them anymore.
Yeah, like Invader Zim. I lost that.
Oh man,
But
that's one of
there's that Invader Zim movie I
Yeah.
still have. Apple.
Apple juice? Good choice. Good choice. Yep. If you would have said orange juice, I probably would have had to escort you out of the building, but
I almost did say orange.
Oh. Okay, apple juice. Good choice. Good choice. We always have one in the fridge. Yes.
We
okay.
never. The only place I get it is at school.
Oh, and the little cartons. Those cartons would always break though when you use them.
Yeah.
Like they would like you
One
get
time
them.
my straw snapped in half.
Oh yeah, those straws are always the worst materials.
Sometimes. It has to be Watcher in the Sky
Yeah.
by Ghost. Burritos.
Burritos? Oh, you can't go wrong with those. That's what you get every time. That's what I get every time I go to a Mexican restaurant. What's your favorite thing to get in a burrito?
Chicken, lettuce, and cheese.
Nice. That's literally almost my exact thing, except I had sour cream in there too. But,
Oh yeah, sometimes I do have sour cream.
but yeah, that's literally my burrito order also.
Top notch.
Top notch. What's the best thing your dad makes?
Probably his cherry barbecue sauce and his brisket. Ice cream cake.
Ice cream
Vanilla-
cake. Ooh.
Vanilla chocolate ice cream cake.
Ooh. Yeah. That's actually the first time I've heard someone say ice cream cake. Very, very unique. I always forget about ice cream cake. It's always really good though, but it's always really hard to cut into, isn't it?
Yeah, because then sometimes the ice cream goes.
Yep. Like that.
And usually the crust is like sometimes like smushy because the ice cream.
Yeah.
So then that just
you
falls
can't
apart.
you can't leave it in a car.
No.
But then when you put it in the freezer, it's too hard to cut into.
Yeah.
You gotta find the perfect balance,
Yeah.
and you never
My
can.
goodness.
The Dairy Queen ones are the best ones, in my opinion.
When I was little, I almost tried nothing because
Okay.
I was so picky. And yet, though, I had a stomach that was tiny, and like I was never starving. But now I like love food I hated when I was young.
Yeah.
But then there's always that one food that I still hate.
Yep.
Bananas.
Oh, really?
It's the texture that makes me want to puke sometimes. Sadly.
Who was your favorite wrestler?
Travesty.
Travesty, yes.
I would have worn my Travesty shirt, but it's a school day, so I wore Stew of the Month.
Nice.
How many times have you seen Travesty?
Yeah, how many times have you seen Travesty?
5 or 4 times.
5 or 4 times? I haven't got to see him yet. It's a bummer.
It's really fun
Yeah?
and funny.
I'm always so busy. I got a lot of stuff to do, like sleep.
Chuck.
Chuck? Yeah, this is the first time probably.
It's the first time anybody said that so far.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
No offense, but I would have said Jessica.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
She's a good pick.
I was actually stuck in between all 3 of you. I wanted to say Jessica because she got me this interview.
You know there is a 4th Nelson.
Yes.
You never see him.
It's the
Oh,
one
Gary.
behind the rose.
Oh, yeah.
Everett, yeah.
The elusive Everett.
Everett. You never see them. They were in one Nelson Family Radio Hour, but they weren't there in visual form.
Their disembodied voice. Everett.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And thank you all for tuning in here and hope you enjoy the next part of this whatever's going on. I don't know.
Truly.
All right, so there you have it. Thank you, Hank.
Yeah.
And thank you, Thomas, for being on the show. We appreciate your love and your support. It was awesome having you, and thanks for watching us online and spending time with Hank.
It was fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thomas was a great interview. And
Very fun to talk to you off camera too.
absolutely, it was a good time. And thank you, Steve and April, for allowing your son to watch this show for whatever reason. Maybe it just gives you guys some alone time. I don't know. So yeah, we're glad.
That 20 minutes once a week.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what
We're
they
happy,
need.
we're happy we can be the babysitter every Monday night.
I hope he's
for
not
Thomas.
watching this ad nauseum. Like kids sometimes do. That's not healthy.
Yeah. Man, that was not good for anybody. All right. So tune in next Monday. We'll have another local guest on Getting to Know Ya. And I'm sure you will not be disappointed. This guest next week always make sure that we have plenty to eat. So it'll be good.
Oh, we're finally getting.
It's a surprise, Noah.
Surprise.
Which you kind of ruined.
Yeah,
your
exactly.
Context clues there.
Context
Hey, well, you
clues,
still don't know.
baby.
There's a lot of people there's a lot of restaurants downtown.
Oh, okay. I have no idea who it is.
Good. You shouldn't. All right. So, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we are foregoing Diver Dan this week. The one thing that we do is we listen to our audience.
Sorry, Gary.
But when our audience speaks, we want them to know that we can hear them. So this week, the selection is also something else that you can find on Retro Strange. It is called The Emperor's Pancakes Are Oblong. It is an animated short from the 70s. I grew up watching it, I think, on Nickelodeon. I think
it might have been on Nickelodeon.
Nickelodeon used to have these interstitials that they would play, right? And they would be old cartoons or things like that. This was back, of course, when they also played Gumby. They had Gumby on Nickelodeon, the original Gumby and Looney Tunes and things. But one of the things that in my household growing up, one of the reasons we appreciated this short cartoon particularly is because it's narrated by Edward Everett Horton. And Edward Everett Horton was also the narrator for Fractured Fairy Tales on Rocky and Bullwinkle, which is probably my favorite cartoon of all time. It goes like Rocky and Bullwinkle and then The Simpsons. I still watch Rocky and Bullwinkle, as Hank can attest to.
The Amazon reboot, I guess, just didn't catch.
Yeah.
It was good, but it wasn't as good as the original.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, but it's not about being as good as the original. It's about being good, right?
Yeah.
True, yeah.
I thought it was okay. It was. I enjoyed it. Everett really liked it. The reboot.
Everett did really like the reboot, yeah.
But I always go back to the originals.
It's just one of those things. It's a place and time thing,
Yep.
Also, there's still some originals I haven't watched. There was a lot of them.
Yeah.
A lot of Rocky and Bullwinkle episodes.
Exactly. And so just being a kid and growing up watching Rocky and Bullwinkle, and then and that's the only time I really ever heard Edward Everett Horton's voice. But then when like this cartoon comes on Nickelodeon, and that's obviously by the time I'm watching it, it's 20 plus years old anyway. I'm like, oh, that's the Fractured Fairy Tales guy. But it's a fun, cute little story. And if you've never heard Edward Everett Horton's voice, and this is the first time you hear it, you'll understand why. I'm always excited to hear anything that he lends his talents to. And of course, this selection, like Diver Dan, you can find every once in a while when it pops up on Retro Strange. Go to retrostrange.com.
Retrostrange.tv.
.tv. Yep. So you can, and that's the streaming platform.
We're
24 hour.
Roku. You got look for us on Roku.
Yep. If you have a Roku, you can download the Roku app, and it just continuous streaming, 24 hours a day, nonstop. Things that will sometimes make you sit down and want to watch, and then sometimes question your life's choices on why I'm watching retrostrange.tv. So with that, let me find it here, and here we go. The Emperor's Pancakes Are Oblong, brought to you by Retro Strange.
Long, long ago, there was an emperor who loved pancakes. Every day of the year, he had 6 pancakes for breakfast. Big yellow ones they were, and of course, they were round as round as round. One fine morning, the emperor came to breakfast feeling particularly merry, for it was his birthday. Happy birthday, Your Excellency, said the court chamberlain, and the same to you, beamed the emperor. Oh, look, pancakes, cried the emperor. Oh, how very nice, just as if he didn't have pancakes every day of the year. And there were the pancakes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and each as round, as crisp as could be. But as the emperor reached the sugar bowl, he stopped. He stopped and he stared and he gasped. Then he opened his mouth and roared, "Oblong! This pancake is oblong!" And so it was, as oblong as oblong. "Explain," roared the emperor. "Excellency, it would appear that it was a birthday present." "A what?" asked the emperor, a good deal surprised. "It was the frying pan," said the chamberlain. Then the emperor began to smile. "Oh, I think I see," he said. "The frying pan was a birthday present, and being oblong, it fried an oblong pancake." "Oh, you know," he said slowly, "I rather like the idea. Oblong pancakes, yes. After all, one likes to be a little different, doesn't one?" Well, the court chamberlain was very relieved. "Of course, Excellency, exactly," he said. "Oh, yes, indeed, yes, indeed." "Good," said the emperor. "Then that's understood. Oblong pancakes only in the future." Now that, you would think, was the end of the story, but it wasn't. In no time at all, the whole population was buying oblong frying pans and frying oblong pancakes. But as the emperor ate his oblong pancakes each morning, he felt something still seemed not quite as it should be. "Oh, of course," he murmured. "Why didn't I think of it before? Oblong pancakes need oblong plates. Why, it's common sense." The oblong plate was ordered and made. Well, once started, the emperor found himself unable to stop, and soon he was ordering something round to be changed to oblong every day. Soon the people had oblong saucepans, oblong spoons, they ate oblong apples, wore oblong hats, bumped along the streets in carriages with oblong wheels. Even the hens, oh, the poor things, they were laying oblong eggs. The emperor was quite content, until one day, when he gazed up at the sky. "Oh, what a beautiful day," he sighed. "Oh, dear, what a beautiful..." Then he stopped. He stopped and he stared and he gasped. And then he opened his mouth and roared, "Round! The sun is round! Have it changed at once." "Oh, the sun, Excellency." "Yes, the sun," bellowed the emperor. "That great yellow round thing hanging over my lovely empire. It's ruining everything. Change it." Well, for weeks the poor court chamberlain tried everything he could think of to change the shape of the sun, but nothing worked. At last, the emperor lost his patience. He'd do the job himself. "Do you not know," he said, "that every evening the sun comes down to the very edge of the earth? That's the time to deal with it." Well, off the emperor went. But, unfortunately, he had no better luck than did the court chamberlain, and the sun remained as round as round. Well, this went on for a long time, and in the meantime, the people were quietly going back to the old ways, changing things back to their round shape. Then, one day, the emperor returned looking very pleased with himself. "My people," he said, "I have failed to reach the sun, but," and he began to smile broadly, "it no longer matters. I have established by personal experiment, and beyond all reasonable doubt, a new and amazing scientific fact. The world is round." Everyone cheered, and the emperor smiled. Then he held up his hand again. "The world is round, my people, and very nice, too. So now, it is my wish that everything in the empire should also be round, to match." Well, the court chamberlain stepped forward. "Your Excellency," he said, "may it please Your Excellency, it is already done." The emperor was extremely pleased. "And now," he said, rubbing his hands, "what about breakfast? May I suggest pancakes, Your Excellency?" ventured the court chamberlain with a smile. "Excellent," said the emperor. "Nothing could be nicer." "Would Your Excellency prefer them round or oblong?" inquired the chamberlain, bowing as low as low. The emperor thought for a moment, and then he said, "Oblong, please. I should continue to have my pancakes oblong. After all, the frying pan was a birthday present, wasn't it? I wouldn't like to hurt anyone's feelings. And besides," finished the emperor, settling comfortably back in his chair, "besides, one does like to be a little different, after all." And so, that was that.
Have the smithy pound it.
So we were talking about the fact that the king was gifted a frying pan, right? And like the king,
who gives a king a frying pan?
King's not gonna fucking use it, right?
In the Middle Ages,
I would have appreciated a frying pan if I were.
Well, I mean, the iron in the frying pan was probably worth a fortune back then.
Sure.
I
Like
mean, there
you
was
said,
more of it back then than there is now.
Well, no, it was just
Yeah.
the process to
Right.
Yeah.
smelt it down wasn't. It was more labor intensive. You had to like pound stuff out.
Yeah.
yeah,
Like someone had to go to a blacksmith. I want a rectangular pancake pan that I'm going to give a king.
right. Like specifically, I think it was regifted. I think it was regifted. I
But
think it
even
was,
then, someone
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
gift that
Sure,
to a
I know.
noble person that would give it to a king.
I agree, but I
There's
think
a lot of plot holes in this thing.
yeah,
I'm just saying.
there's-
Very nice
Except-
narration, though.
Except
Yeah.
for that, the king concluded that the Earth was round, which
Yeah.
we can all agree.
Well, that-
No, just kidding.
So that was brought to you by RetroStrange.tv. Visit RetroStrange.com where you can find RetroStrange TV. You can also find lo-fi sci-fi, vintage radio shows, vintage science fiction radio shows like X-1, Mindwebs, some great stuff there. So check it out, RetroStrange.com, RetroStrange.tv, lo-fi sci-fi. You'll also be able to find the shop there where you can buy
Fine collectibles and merchandise.
you can wear Retro Strange. You can stick Retro Strange. We even sell some travesty merchandise. You heard Thomas in the interview with Hank. Thomas's favorite wrestler is Travesty. You can find Travesty T-shirts on RetroStrange.com. So that's pretty much everything I have for the show. Anything else you guys want to talk about?
Good.
Not really.
I think oblong pancakes is a good way to end it. He said next week we'll be back. We'll have a new musical number for you,
Yeah, definitely.
and maybe even a musical guest as well. We'll see. Yeah,
Musical guest.
musical guest, and another
Is it Linda Ronstadt?
getting to know you. It might be Linda Ronstadt.
It might be Linda.
It might be Linda Ronstadt.
Oh, I need to prepare if it's Linda Ronstadt.
Yeah. Like, how would you prepare for Linda Ronstadt?
It's like a bunch of different ways. Just, I mean, I wouldn't be wearing this.
different ways.
I'd come in a properly attired number one,
I think I'd come dressed the same.
and like she would I'd have to prepare the green room for Linda Ronstadt. It's not like one of these.
We have a-
It's not like one of these millennial music night acts like your.
I dress the same for anyone I meet.
But I feel like Linda
It's
Ronstadt would
Miss Linda Ronstadt,
she'd appreciate some just,
the lead singer of the Stone Ponies,
Yeah,
Linda
I
Ronstadt.
understand who Linda Ronstadt is.
She did a guest voice on The Simpsons when it was good.
Yeah.
Linda Ronstadt, dude.
I never realized that you were such a.
I'm not a fan. I just
Oh.
appreciate the caliber of celebrity that
you're-
comes with a Miss Linda
I'm
Ronstadt.
not a fan, but
I'm not a fan, but
A fan is someone that moons
Sure.
over a singer or musician.
sure.
I'm a professional, and I would want to greet Miss Ronstadt
Professionals
with the
have
professionality
standards.
she deserves
Okay.
and has earned.
That's fine.
You know how much shit Linda Ronstadt has had to go through in her career?
That's what I'm saying. Like, so then she could just sit on this couch and chill
Yeah.
and not feel the pretense.
So it is
of
going to be
some-
Linda Ronstadt.
It might be.
I
So-
mean, doing music in the 60s and 70s, you imagine the misogyny she had to
Oh,
deal
dude,
with backstage?
absolutely. Yeah. Well, she just, she just marched to the beat of a different drum. So, with that, I think this
That's
is it.
it.
I think
Please.
we have to calm Noah down.
About Linda Ronstadt.
Well, I
Besides-
mean, if you guys
yes.
won't be professional about the whole thing,
It's gonna. We
and
need
give
some.
me the information I need to prepare.
We need to get some beer in you and send you off to bed, straight away. All right.
See yous all
Say
next time.
Yep. Say goodbye to the people, Hank.